So, far away Lucas, you're joining me for an episode of How Not to Do Business. Who's the topic of today's conversation?
Well, the person who doesn't know how to do business today is you, Karl.
Oh yeah. Okay, so I'm going to take a big old sip of this searing hot coffee that's going to burn the back of my throat. But while I do that, Lucas, would you like to tell the audience roughly what today's conversation is going to be about? Because a lot's gone on recently with YouTube.
It has with YouTube, yes, and we're going to be talking about the changes made to mid-roll ads.
Yeah, the helpful changes, helpful being in big old air quotes, and right off the bat, regular viewers of this channel may have noticed that some older videos in our archives have now got mid-roll ads on them. The amount of mid-roll ads and whether or not you can skip them will vary, and that is because YouTubers rather helpfully rolled out a new feature where they can put mid-roll ads on any video over 8 minutes, where previously it was 10 minutes. And because YouTube is really nice, what they've done is retroactively added that feature to every single video in our archives to which it could apply. Meaning there are around 500 videos on our channel that have all had mid-roll ads put on them completely against my will. Because regular viewers of the channel who've heard me speak about this before will probably remember that I have been very adamant that the channel will only ever have a single ad at the start that you, the audience, can skip so that your enjoyment of the content is not interrupted or disrupted in any way, which mid-roll ads do and then some. Because Lucas, just before we get into the nitty-gritty, thoughts on mid-roll ads?
I personally really hate them, and I think it diminishes YouTube as a platform.
It does, and I fucking hate them, and I will click away from any video that features multiple examples of mid-roll ads, especially if, for example, let's say it's a video comedy series where the videos are about 12 to 15 minutes long and it's framed as a conversation between two friends, where anything that would disrupt that would be incredibly annoying and something that would probably make me click away from the video, which is one of the reasons we don't put it in. And as I mentioned, YouTube have very helpfully gone and added mid-roll ads to every video in our archives over 8 minutes in length. And I did not want this to happen. And the reason this is a how not to do business is because depending on when this video goes out, that may or may not be true. Because I shit you not, lovely audience at home, paying Nisha, one of our editors, to go through the archives and individually edit every single video to turn that shit off. Meaning, I am paying money out of my pocket to earn less money from our videos. Because it annoys me that fucking much. That's how much this annoys me. I will gladly pay my own money to turn it off my content. If anyone's ever wondered how serious I am about I just want to make content that I like and I want to make content that I'd be proud of, that's the number one with a bullet example for you, where I am actively spending my own money to earn less money from our content, because if I was an outside viewer of my own content and I saw that, I would click away.
Exactly, yeah.
And I don't want to be a hypocrite, so yeah, I'm paying Nisha to do that. And Lucas, I believe you have some information about this wonderful new change from YouTube in front of you now. So would you like to just explain to the audience who may be wondering why do you have to manually turn off mid-roll ads in every video? Can't you just opt out of it? Or can't you just mass turn it off for everything? Because the answer is no.
Yeah, so the changes were rolled out from, I believe, the 27th of July?
Yes, July 27th was the date it came into effect, and what's been happening is it's been slowly rolled out over all of YouTube, so obviously there's been a slight delay in when it's reached certain channels, and it evidently reached ours yesterday because I got about 3 emails pointing out to me, this video has 6 unskippable mid-roll ads in it, can you turn that off? And I was like, wait, what?
And I was to be fair, there was an opt-out thing that I made the channel team aware of.
Yeah, so you can confirm.
Yeah, everybody clicked to not have this happen to every channel, and yet it did.
Yeah, so for anyone wondering, well, Karl, couldn't you have just opted out? There was an option to opt out, wasn't there? There was, which Lucas made me aware of, and I opted out of it on this channel, on the Fiend Raw channel, where you'll find longer raw cuts of videos, where Arguably, this feature would be more useful, so we even turn it off on there. And if there is any video, I apologise. And on my personal gaming channel, which you can find linked below, because if we're not making any fucking money from mid-rolls, I won't make money from this video. So I opted out of that feature on all 3 of the channels that I own. I then set our upload defaults to not include mid-roll ads, and for some reason, it still fucking went into effect, which is incredibly annoying, because I now have to spend my own money to turn it off. So, fuck off YouTube. I guess. And Lucas, I'm just baffled at how short-sighted this change is. It's like you said, you hate when videos have that. I hate when videos have that. I've never met a single person who doesn't, at the very least, get annoyed, if not completely click away and unsubscribe from a channel when they start doing this. Mm-hmm. And I can't fathom what the thinking is here. Like, how am I supposed to feel secure as a creator on YouTube? Am I supposed to make it my career when they've made this site-wide change and retroactively edited the entire channel's archives of videos to make them less watchable? Because one of the reasons this channel can survive with a single ad at the start of each video is because we make very evergreen content that is quite bingeable. And I'm not sure if you do, Lucas, but I get at least a message a week from somebody via one of the platforms I can be contacted just saying, I've binged every video you've ever made. Yeah. And that's partly because we were keenly aware when we first started being able to monetize the channel. If we put one ad at the start, then people will have 10, 15 minutes of content and then an ad, and then the next one will play. And that feels quite natural. That's what you get on terrestrial TV. It's like a 10, 15 minutes of content, a small ad that you can skip to, and as well, you make sure the person's still watching. Next video plays, next video plays. If you start adding end roll ads, mid roll ads to that, there are now 3 or 4 opportunities in the space of a single video for a person to go, you know what? Nah, it's not fucking worth it, and click away.
Yeah, exactly.
And I don't think that's an exaggeration because I do that all the time. And I'm going to imagine that a lot of people watching this also do that. So the idea that could happen to my channel is very scary because it could kill the entire channel. Like, the one reason it's a success has been stripped away by a YouTube change that was forced upon us. It's like, why are they doing this?
Yeah, I just can't fathom it at all.
The only way I can see is that it's short-term gain because we can pull back the curtain a little bit on this one. And Lucas, you have the correspondence from YouTube we got about this. And can you confirm for myself and the audience at home, Lucas, that in this correspondence from YouTube, there is not a single mention of what this update will add for the viewer?
It's one mention of the viewer is like, aren't mid-roll ads annoying for viewers?
Yes, which is in the FAQ section of why would you want mid-rolls? And every single one of those questions is framed as, it'll make you more money. And believe it or not, there are people on this platform who are happy with the amount of money they already make. As people may have surmised from my description of my approach to YouTube, I'm playing the long game when it comes to this stuff, and I would much rather have a vast archive of evergreen content people can stumble upon and then binge for hours at a time, getting me a small amount of money long term than I am monetizing the shit out of the audience I have now and then losing them when they get sick of being advertised to. I'd rather make a little bit of money for a very long time than a lot of money right now and then be completely shit out of luck in 3 years' time. Yeah. It's like, why would anyone do that? Like, oh, make YouTube your career for 3 years and then lose your audience and have nothing. It's like, what? How is that helpful for anyone? And that's the thing, the only mention YouTube makes of what this change will do for your audience is acknowledging the fact that it's annoying. Yeah. And then, if I'm remembering rightly, because I've read that and laughed, they basically say, oh, while some users of YouTube find mid-roll ads annoying, not all of them do. Like, do you want to just read the quote out for people? Oh, this is a legitimate quote from YouTube about mid-roll ads.
Okay, yeah. So this is the answer to, aren't mid-roll ads annoying for viewers?
Which in this entire FAQ and all the correspondence about this change is the only acknowledgement YouTube has of what mid-roll ads do for the audience. Every other piece of information about it is how it can make me, the creator, more money. But what about if I don't want to make money? What if I want to make good content? They don't mention that, do they? That's the thing that pisses me off. They make no mention of how it will improve the content or what value it will add for a viewer. It's just, you will make more money. It's like, but at what cost? Anyway, Lucas, would you like to read the quote from YouTube?
Yeah, sure. So they say, some viewers might find mid-roll ads annoying or interruptive.
Fuck off. They might, audience at home, just with a show of hands, I guess, do you find mid-roll ads annoying? I'm going to guess the answer is yes. It's not. There's no might about it, and that's what pisses me off. They refuse to admit it. Like, they live in this bubble where it's like, oh, well, some people might find it. No, everybody hates it. People tolerate it, but they don't like it. That's not the same thing.
However, Karl, to improve viewer experience, we take care of predicting the best ad placement for minimal interruption. We aim to balance the needs of viewers, advertisers, and creators on our platform.
Yeah, I like as well where they put advertisers before creators. That's a really telling statement. Like, that's one of those things where you look at it and go, in isolation, it doesn't mean a lot, but when you read a response from YouTube at MidRoll Ads Annoying, and they literally place appeasing advertisers before making the platform better for you, the creator, that's really telling.
It is.
And I think that is YouTube letting the mask slip just a little bit about why this change is coming into effect. Because I'm going to guess that behind the scenes, somewhere at YouTube HQ, advertisers are screaming at them of, why don't you force more ads into content? Because, well, no, it's YouTubers can, but they have a choice whether or not they want to put mid-roll ads in, so that make it the default. And that really pisses me off because the amount of effort we do behind the scenes and the amount of times where we've all sat down and gone, like, we could make more money from this, but we're not going to because we personally would find it annoying and we don't want to be hypocrites. And then YouTube forced it on us to appease advertisers. It's like, oh. And I've had the worst, like, people might be able to say, I've had the worst fucking night's sleep over this because this is legitimately something that could kill the entire channel. And YouTube has done it so they can make a little bit more money and advertisers can make a little bit more money at the expense of creators and audience. And it's like, it's fucking horrendous. It's beyond insulting. To both you, the audience, and like other creators who, I guess, have a soul. Because I'm guessing there's some creators out there who are well fucking pleased about this. That one you told me about, that guy who posted a tweet of like, oh man, YouTube's really fucking over creators because he couldn't put a mid-roll ad in a 3-minute long video.
Yeah, actual tweets from creators go, this is the best change to YouTube in a while.
Because now they can make more money from you. And I just wanted to make this how not to do business to let our audience know that if you've seen that, it was not our choice. We tried our damnedest to turn it off. And then for some reason, YouTube saw fit to ignore that and put the ads in anyway. But hopefully by the time this goes out, those videos will be in the process of, or have been edited to turn mid-roll ads off. And they will be back to having a single skippable ad at the start, which, as I've said multiple times, makes us enough money. And I'd just like to apologise to the audience. I know I don't have to, but I feel like I should, because it's so fucking bad and I hate that I've had to make this video. And what I would like to do to end on is, Nisha will be the one editing this, usually edits the how not to do businesses, is can you please go into the Fiend archives and find a random video, maybe the first one you appeared in or your favourite one that you've done, and just see how many mid-roll ads you could put into it. Just to let the audience know how much YouTube doesn't give a fuck and how much they would let people abuse this system, and how I'm guessing there are people out there who do abuse it that much, because I've seen half-an-hour long videos with like 20 fucking ad breaks in them. But yeah, and to any creators out there who are applauding this change and are using it, go and fuck yourself. You're awful. You're ruining this platform and you hate your audience. And I hate you. I have no respect for it. None at all. It's so bad.
But more money, Karl.
I don't care. The channel makes enough. We all do fine. I'd rather have my soul than a little bit of extra money. I like being able to look at myself in the mirror and go, that guy's a good guy. You're doing good, Karl. You're making content. You're living your life by your own rules. And you've not sold out and you're doing it your way. Then like looking in and just seeing Schmeagol stare back at me. I don't need that. I don't need that hassle.